Hey guys, KS Diver here. Today we're going to be discussing my MIRA strats on the new theme park map. We're going to start in this throne room here because that seems to be the most common place that everybody wants to go. I don't know why. I don't like it, but I also don't like attacking it, so maybe there's something to that. Let's jump into this. So I've got my two MIRA windows looking into Bravo's site. If you watch my other videos, you'll know that I like to set my MIRA windows up so that I can defend an entire site, if not both sites, with one setup, and then my teammates, they just help me with the comp. So let's look at our lines of sight real fast. From this window, I have all of this. I can see everything. Nobody can get in that corner and plant. If I hear a plant going down over here, just throw a C4 in that corner. Same from this side, I can throw a C4 all the way over there. If somehow they get behind that throne, you can yeet a C4 pretty far. Hopefully, with this setup, though, they're not just going to be able to waltz in like that. Also, from this window, you can see a little bit into Dragon. I put my mirror window on the far left side on this one. That's going to give me the ability, to, if this is popped, to do this. I probably should have put it more to the right over here, or even just centered. That way, I could sit in this corner a little better and still be protected right here and see that. Obviously, I blew too much of this out, so my head's exposed right here, so don't do that. You just want to be able to vault and throw C4s. That's the key. So, yep, these sight lines are pretty simple. Let's talk about the dangers involved in this spot. So, first one you can see is that drone hole. That drone hole can affect both of these mirror windows. So, we'll talk about team comp here in a moment. This whole strip is vulnerable from above, so you gotta watch out for that. The other risk is this wall over here. This can be blown out. They can throw frag grenades in. You're going to want to defend this wall pretty heavily. And then the last risk is over here with this doorway. So those are the dangers associated with this site that I have experienced. So let's go into team composition to mitigate the risks of this setup. So the first thing I'm going to suggest on this site is a castle. You can castle this doorway right here, and that's going to help you and your teammates from getting beat by this huge line of sight getting opened up over here. Obviously, you're going to need electricity, so a bandit or a cade. I suggest a bandit. That way you have multiple batteries to throw at them. Also, if you blow this out ahead of time, you can impact trick anything that goes on these walls. So it's up to you whether a bandit or a cade. On that note of reinforced walls, you should still probably put down all your reinforcements that you normally have on this and over here. You know, you don't have to put any on those, so that saves you 2. So there's 2, 4, 6. You need 6 barricades on this side. If you do happen to bring a cade, then I guess you could throw one on this wall. I'm not really too concerned about this wall. It's imperative that we defend this wall right here, because obviously if that gets blown, you are absolutely screwed. With us being in A site defending this direction, and with the firepower that we can bring through these mirror windows over here, we're going to be focusing most of our team's defense on the A side of the map, roamers and whatnot. The next thing I'm going to want on this map is a shield. We're going to go ahead and throw a shield down right here to prevent them from shooting our feet over there. And then the last piece of team comp we're going to want is probably a Jaeger. We're going to want the Jaeger to go probably right here. Maybe a second one right here. I would probably suggest that you put another one back here for your teammates watching your back. I don't know, a good spot might be right here or maybe right here. That way it can catch anything going over this, like bucks, frag grenades or something, or anything coming through this. We'll say it again real fast. We got a castle for that. We got a shield. We got Jaegers over here on this wall. And we need a bandit or a kite. If they blow a hole over here or Maverick a little spot for them to crawl through, you don't have much of a window over here to shoot these guys. If that gets blown, I definitely suggest at that point, as soon as you know that is getting blown, you move over to this window over here so that you have plenty of time to shoot those guys as they try to come in and plant behind the throne, because that's going to be the most secure spot for them to plant behind without anybody being able to do anything about it. With this setup, as I said before, with your team comp, the only thing that we really didn't help ourselves against is up here. So that's why I'm going to suggest that with this setup, besides your bandit or your Kaid helping you back here, go ahead and put 3 roamers on this site. You need 3 people to pester these guys, and you might be able to get away with 2, but if you lose those 2 and they start blowing this up, this whole defense fails. And once you've done that, this is a pretty powerful mirror spot. Let's go ahead and go to the next site. Okay, so here we are in Drug Lab. This is the next site I'm going to cover, and I don't see people go here very often anymore. It used to be a favorite spot of the old theme park map, and I don't know why that changed really. I think one of the reasons people don't like this site very much now is that so much more of the floor is destructible, and you know, that might be a good reason to not go here. I still think it's pretty strong. For people to attack this, it's going to force them to go upstairs, and that's where you're going to have 2 or 3 roamers waiting for them. Obviously, I got a window right here. This is pretty old meta. And I got a window right here. And this is kind of an old meta style too. The rest of this will all be barricaded. And our job with our lines of sight is to defend B site. I'm not going to go over this too much. It's pretty basic. Let's talk about the dangers. Obviously, the biggest danger on this one, like a lot of mirror spots, is the ceiling. So like I said on the last site and on this site now, you're going to want probably 3 roamers. If you get rushed on this site, you are boned. You're screwed. But besides that, this drone hole's covered now for the most part, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. The next biggest danger is that doorway and any of these walls over here getting blown up. I like this mirror window better. That one's more for information or a fallback point for a teammate. But from this corner over here, besides the ceiling, you're pretty safe. You've got this big piece here covering you from the main door, and you've got this right here covering you from anything over there that gets destroyed. To mitigate that risk, I'm gonna put a shield right here, right off the corner of this almost. And that's going to give me a spot to hide behind over here if that wall right there gets blown. If you have the team comp for it, another shield right here wouldn't hurt. But like I said, I'm not primarily going to be sitting at this window. If a teammate wants to sit there, that's fine. So the objective of this is to make them uneasy about attacking B site. And if they do attack B site, which is more common I think, they're going to get punished for it. Force them to attack the other side of the map, from main lobby and up above you, which is where your teammates are going to be waiting for them. I don't need too much team comp for this. I already said shields. You're going to need electricity for all the walls. I think a Cade is sufficient enough for this site because you can do 3 walls at once. Jaegers are nice. You put like a Jaeger right here. You put, especially if your window's right here, you can put another one over here. I would maybe throw another one somewhere over here, like in this corner or something, to help you from grenades. You really don't need much team comp on this site. You just need teammates. It's a very simple site. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here we are in the bunk daycare site. I know, this looks wonky. You're like, what the hell is he doing? He's lost his mind. So, barricade this left side. Go ahead and put a window on it. And then, obviously, you got a crouching one right here. Most of this is blown out. You can rotate through here. You can vault over. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm sitting in B site. Technically, I'm defending it, but I'm defending A site right now. From here, I can see all of A site. I can E to C4 pretty much anywhere I want to. People are going to die. They might try to plant over here. That is manageable as well. Lines of sight are pretty simple, so let's move straight on to the dangers. So pretty much that hallway, everything behind you is a danger on this one. I mean, the floor is destructible too. I don't anticipate getting shot from there, but I could. If somebody starts to hit me from below, if you have a teammate in here, he could drop this hatch and kill that guy. So I got that hallway. Not much I can do about that except for put a deployable shield about right here. It's going to get in the way just a little bit for me right here, but not too much. As for the rest of this, it's going to need to be barricaded, and it's going to need to be probably electrified. At least those 2 are. I'm not too worried about barricading and electrifying these because I have coverage from those. However, if they do open this wall up enough, it does start to give them more options to attack your windows, such as Habanas and frag grenades. To mitigate that, you're going to want a Jaeger right here, or a Whammy. Whammy will work. Whammy has a shield. Jaeger right there. That's going to protect you from all that junk. And then, I don't know, I'd put another Jaeger maybe like right on top of you, somewhere right there, or maybe in this corner. The reason I'm not putting a mirror window over here is because you can't really see much over here. Yeah, you can see this corridor, but it's extremely dangerous to sit here because of that. Your next risk is this window right here, and basically anybody coming in through here. That is why I positioned this mirror window exactly where I did. When you go to place it, just look at where you're safe, which would be right here. This is the biggest spot of safety. Just turn right around, bam, plant your window right there where you've turned around at. Of course, by doing that, I've moved my window a little bit too far to the left to put a barricade there, I believe. You're obviously going to want a teammate sitting in here with you, maybe two, so that way somebody can drop this hatch if they have to. But it's going to get pretty hectic in here, especially if they start attacking those windows, which they will. So you're going to need 2 or 3 roamers, and just go let them have fun, do what they do, get frags. Your job is this site. Now, you could argue putting a maestro in here, up here in this corner. That way he can see a little bit more, and he can defend your windows for you. The other maestro, you could put it up here, and anyway you can see a little more. You're gonna get attacked from over here. Nobody likes to play castle, but he could definitely help you in this spot. Your roamers and your sightlines are gonna be your best defense here as you do this mirror setup. Wow, that was fast. Might be my fastest site yet. So let's go ahead and go to the next site. Alright, here we are in the office initiation room sites, and this one's a little tricky because, I mean, sure, there's plenty of places you can put mirror windows. You know, not all of them are that effective, and most of them are extremely dangerous. I'm going to put a mirror window right here beside a hard wall for you to get cover behind, and we're going to put another crouch window right here by another hard window that you can get behind where a teammate can feel free to sit here on camps. From this window, you've got this right here covered from the hallway. You can see part of that room. Unfortunately, this is one of those sites with the lack of destructibility between the sites. You're probably not going to be able to get both sites defended from just a MIRA strat. So roamers are going to be less abundant on this site, but that's okay because we're on a second floor. We don't have to worry about a ceiling. Like I said, we got this covered. And also from right here, we got this covered. I blew some of this wall out over here so that I can see feet. I don't need to blow at the top for a C4 because they're going to be so close to that wall, if they are going through this corridor, that the C4 will kill them anyway. Blowing out the feet is just so I can shoot them, and they won't be able to shoot back accurately because they won't be able to see. From this window, I've got all that covered, like I said, but you can also back off over here. Now, don't leave that little slit right there. I should have put that window as far to the left as possible, so don't do what I just did there. But from right here, you'll have the ability to still cover from that window. So most likely we're not going to be moving back and forth between these two. We're mostly going to be sitting at this one, and then we can still cover that. If there's nobody back here that you can tell, it's okay to go ahead and move to this one. Now you've got a better fighting stance from this window. This is all going to be barricaded. Don't forget that one. From this site, I can yeet C4s through that doorway pretty far. Anybody in this cache room is going to be subject to my C4s. Same goes for this over here. You can get C4s through that doorway fairly easily. And so yeah, that's the lines of sight you're playing with. Now, the dangers. Obviously, those walls are a danger. Probably need to have them electrified. Anybody getting into this hallway is going to be trouble for you. So you definitely need to make sure you do not let that happen. I personally think the Vector is the best weapon for crouching MIRA strats. So if we do play a site where you could use a second person playing on a mirror window to make it more effective, Goyo is a great choice. Plus, you can set up Vulcan shields and doorways and whatnot in the hallway, and that'll increase your defensive capability. The danger here is anybody rushing into or getting into past your line of sight, so that now you can no longer use a window to win a gunfight. And what I mean by that is if somebody gets past all this and gets right here, or gets through that door and starts, they have the sole objective of killing you, now they get into here, well, that's going to be trouble. Barricading this can help. That gives you a little bit more cover. At least they won't be able to see you. Definitely need to be aware. Make sure not to let anybody get into this little opened area here. Our next danger is going to be this window over here. I mean, you're safe from it, but what happens is if I need to go over here to this site, transitioning from there to here, I have that window to worry about. So once again, I would just encourage you to close this. That way they can't see you doing that. They're going to have to blind fire it. It's not necessarily a danger that I would require a teammate to bring a shield to mitigate. That's going to be pretty tough for them to get shots all the way back here. If you're sitting at this window here, yeah, that could be a problem. But for them to be this close to the objective and have the presence of mind and bravery to lay down right there and watch that drone hole for an extended period of time is going to be really risky for them. So I'm not too worried about it. The floor is a danger to this spot. Hopefully you've got 2 roamers watching out for you. People are still pretty unfamiliar with this map, I would say, to know that they need to go exactly in that spot right there to hit this mirror window. Plus, that's almost at the 90 corridor. That's a pretty dangerous spot to be just shooting up through the floor if you've got roamers. There's the dangers and mitigations and all that for this site. Before we end this, I'll just one more time. You're going to need some electricity on these walls over here. I would probably suggest a Jaeger once again, maybe right here where it's safe, maybe another one right here, and then maybe another one over here, or on the bomb over here. So I think that's it. We got our lines of sight, we got the dangers associated with this spot, and we got the mitigations to it. I'm going to be coming out with more mirror videos in the very near future. I think my next one is going to be the New Oregon map. I've done some trials with that, some in-game. It's hard because I haven't had my 5-stack to test them out, but I've got some cool spots for that map, so that one will be coming out here hopefully in the next day or so. I think those spots that I have for you on the New Oregon are going to be highly effective, especially at the beginning here, because people aren't going to be used to seeing them. So look forward to that. I'll catch you next time, and until then, enjoy the view.